Podcaster episode 12 in 3, 2, 1.
Podcast.
Yay! Welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back. Hello, Jen.
Welcome
What
back to
is
another
up?
episode. Hello, Sal. Sadly, Shane can't be with us tonight, but she'll be back.
She'll be back
Yeah,
soon.
she's gonna be
See,
back.
the thing
guys,
with
so
us
that-
is that we don't also know when we record our videos at this point. We're like, are you guys busy? Oh, I can't do it tonight. Okay, let's record next week.
that's our schedule. So
Yeah, that's our
we kind
schedule.
of do this recording or on days we get to do it on a time we are so free, or can I say like we have a lot of time to spare. We can't really just because this is
Yeah.
a long recording. It's not just
Yeah, it
as,
takes a while.
I know it's not just minute. True. So how do you want to start this new episode? So we're just gonna catch up with each other. So how
Yeah, we're just gonna catch
was
up
your
first.
week? What's
Well,
so
my week
what's
was
happening
interesting.
with you?
Not necessarily. I mean, like in terms of K-pop, because I finally listened to the podcast, the specific one episode that you told me to listen to, which was Soul Therapy's podcast, episode 7.
Yes.
And they talked about how high school rapper season 4 was a flop. But that's not like the whole thing though. But like, cause like the last part when they were introducing new albums was the most interesting part, because I started listening to Essence, and like I know Essence and Simon Dominic had like had that Supreme team in the past, but then like
Yes,
Essence
yes.
went kind of like low key. I forgot why. I think was there a scandal of some sort? I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So I started listening to Essence, the album they were talking about. I forgot what it's called, but it was a 2019 album from Essence. I was like, this is legit. This is the type of like hip hop that, you know, because it's like really like in your face rap. It's like the purge, you know, that
Okay.
kind of like rap. So I'm like, this is what I've been listening.
Mm-hmm.
And then of
That's
course our
'Cause
other favorite survival show, Kingdom. Oh my god, 80s last place. Although I am an 18E and I might get my 18E card revoked by saying this, but I kind of understand why they were in last place, because like the whole classical music mashup, the Jongho high note, and then the EDM ending is, they've done it before, from the Wonderland performance alone, and like we kept seeing that even with like their other performances. So I'm like, it's time to move on. No, I mean like it's a good performance, but like, you know, if you compare it to performances from like RTK, I think RTK was a little bit more diverse in my opinion. So
True. Yeah, I do agree with the RTK performance because I was watching a lot of The Boys.
Yes,
The Boys music, the
ma'am.
content. You know, I'm like a newly converted Joby. Did I say that
hi
right?
friends that are Tobies out there. This is your new recruit.
Hello, hello everyone. That's it. And yeah, I do agree with what you said that RTK has had diverse concept, especially with The Boys, because the way they did Danger, that was
Dude, Taemin's impact on the whole industry.
it's different. The
It's the,
impact.
I mean, and SF9's move, the servism, the servism.
Again, Taemin's influence. The influence.
I swear.
Yeah. So yeah, same as you. I'm also watching Kingdom videos. I don't know. It's okay. I'm just gonna talk about Icon's performance because
Go
it
ahead,
featured
go ahead.
Lisa, but thankfully it did not. Like Lisa's participation did not swallow up the whole Icon performance, which is a
I
good thing
agree.
because you don't want to be remembered as the performance that Lisa participated in.
Ooh,
You want to be remembered as like
true.
the classy. You want to be remembered as like the classy savage, not just a pretty savage remix. So
True.
I loved it. It was a nice it was a nice interaction between YG because we were so starved with
Yeah, true.
interaction. So
True.
nice. Stray Kids, amazing performance, and the newer ones, B2B.
B2B. I love. I mean, B2B really
Sambanim.
shows that, they are the Sunbenims. Like you can
True.
really see that, they are there for a reason, and like they debuted for years for a reason, and it really shows in their performance. So I'm like, I love this. I love.
Okay, but of course, let's not this. Let's just. Anyways, it's just we need to. Let's save this for another episode.
Okay,
When the
okay.
Kingdom finale.
That's next week. So by the time we shoot our
Um,
next episode, that's going to be
we
out
can talk
already.
about it. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fun.
You know, with all these groups coming up, like newer groups, and still having old groups coming up with new songs, coming back with new songs. Anyways,
Truly.
so we're just gonna talk about the influence of K-pop globally, locally, in both of our countries, because we're on different location. And what are the highs and lows of the influence, be it from personal experience, from a friend's experience, or just someone's experience on that maybe you saw on Facebook, Twitter, or any social media. And then probably the best and the weirdest influence we got from K-pop. So that's gonna
Okay,
be
okay.
our episode for tonight. So I hope you stay tuned till the end because we're gonna say a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah,
for
I feel like
So,
this episode is going to
we're
be
just gonna
fun.
start. So we're just gonna start with, like, what's K-pop? Again, it's just we're just reintroducing K-pop to you guys, but I doubt that people still, you know,
True. Who
don't
doesn't
know
know
about
K-pop
K-pop
in
because
this time and age? Like, there's no way a person does not know K-pop, especially with how big it is right now internationally.
true. So, what has been like for you? Like, what has been like the difference of K-pop's influence globally, from before and now, and how do you think, or what are the factors that made you think or made you believe that, whoa, this influence is definitely out of this world. It's like something that's so intense.
I think,
Yeah.
cause I started listening to like K-pop from like when I was like in grade 6, 2010, and like whenever I would try to introduce K-pop, or like whenever I would try to like, well, not even try, whenever I would listen to songs, and people won't understand it, they would be like, "What's this?" You know, and like I'm always going, oh, this is Korean music. This is a group called Super Junior, and then I had to explain like why there are so many people in a group, and like the usual mockery, like, oh, you don't even understand, or oh, they all look
Mm.
alike anyway. But now, now when you listen to a song and people are like, oh, what are you listening to? I'm like, oh, I'm listening to like this group. I'm like, oh, that group, I've heard of them. So it's kind of like,
Mm.
interesting. Like, you don't really get that mockery anymore, I guess. I feel like
Mm. Mm.
I'm that's why I'm pretty like defensive, I guess, when it comes to K-pop, because we're so used to the, why are you listening to that anyway? Like,
Mm.
you'd be like,
True, true, true.
what's it to you? Like, let me live. But like, that doesn't
Mm.
happen as often anymore. So I guess that's like a good influence
Mm.
of like the globalization of K-pop.
True, true. Because I thought it was just like here, like people around me used to say like, why are you still listening, or like why are you listening to something you don't understand? You can't actually like relate to the lyrics because duh, Korean is not your language. And then I've also like heard people say it's it's a music that is not gonna be popular. Cause yeah, first it's like, yeah, the lyrics are different, but now it's like a normal thing, like a thing, I guess. I mean,
Now
I've
it's
seen
like,
more people.
if you don't listen to K-pop or like a certain group, the group that shall not be named, but if you don't listen to that group, you will be seen as the weird one. You're the odd one out nowadays.
Mm, mm. Cause which is ridiculous for me is actually like 2020 or maybe 2019. I've seen people who don't listen to that particular
Ha!
that
It's
particular
hilarious how
group.
we know what group we're
But
talking about.
but I think the pandemic really really made them listen. I don't know, maybe because they're in their homes all the time. They have the internet, they have YouTube, they have Spotify. They can listen and watch their music videos. But it's not just the case for that group. It's like,
No,
I
no,
think
yeah.
everyone, I think the fans doubled overtime because streaming is free.
I mean,
And
that's
like,
how I got into NCT, right? Like, I was just watching Mama because I couldn't go anywhere in December, right? Like, I mean, we couldn't have like vacations, or we couldn't like, travel. So, we were just at home watching TV, watching Mama with our friends. And I feel like there are a lot of fans like that as well. Like, new fans because of Corona, or like, I mean, another example like that is very personal, I guess, would be my mom, because over the pandemic she couldn't go to the office, right? So she had more free time, and then her workmate suggested her Crash Landing on You. That was back in like March, and now it's insane the amount of dramas and movies she watches. She could sit down in the sofa in our living room from like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. I am not even kidding. Like, it's insane.
Tita, oh my god.
I mean, I guess I'm kind of thankful, because like I was talking to her, because we have TV1 on our TV, like, so I was having breakfast with her this morning, and then Kingdom was on TV, like the replay of Kingdom was on TV, and then it was Stray Kids, and then I told her, oh, these people got shut out by Ryan Reynolds, and she knew about it, and I'm like, we can relate now. We can have a conversation about this.
The mind.
Exactly. I was like, I mean, I guess I'm thankful. Because, like, yeah. So I'm like, pros and cons. Pros and cons.
Because I know your mom is very supportive of you with all the things you do for K-pop. We've seen it firsthand.
She wasn't that supportive back then. Back then. But now, since, like, I
Back
earned my
then.
own...
See,
Back then. But now, since...
the
True! Oh my god, true.
the change. It's not just like the conversion of one fan to like non-fan to a fan. It's just also the support. I think it's it contributes to the success
I swear.
globally, because we've seen, like, just like you said, like Stray Kids is now Ryan Reynolds' favorite Australian. So coming
Truly.
from coming from a Hollywood personality to have that comment, it makes you feel like, oh my god, this is not just about South Korea or like Asia, because Hollywood stars are now getting interactions with these idols, and it's, that's the recent one. What about those idols that idol interaction that happened probably a year ago, 2 years, so, and that
Like Sour
interaction
Candy, Lady Gaga,
yeah,
Blackpink, stuff
yeah,
like that.
true, true, that collaboration. So you know that when you have personalities like actress and actors from Hollywood, or like YouTube influencers, who else, like public figures, and then they relate, or they have
Mm.
this like genuine connection with
Mm.
K-pop, it makes you feel like this is the thing now. It's not something that is easily mocked
Mm.
now. This is a serious thing. That's what I get whenever I see like K-pop influences day.
But like I feel like, cause like the first like huge interaction between K-pop and like a Western artist would be 21 and Black Eyed Peas back in the day, way back in the day. But like it didn't blow up as much as now, I guess. So I
Mm,
think it
mm,
really has something to do with the timing of
mm,
everything,
mm-hmm,
because I feel like back then K-pop wasn't that well introduced to the Western market. So even with this collaboration, people were like, "What?" But like after, I guess, like Gangnam Style, and then of course the impact of BTS, these these collaborations started becoming even bigger and bigger, because people
mm,
now know both of them, like, and then each of them has like
mm,
really really strong fan bases when it comes to
mm,
collaborations. So I don't know, I guess it did happen before, but I guess since people weren't as understanding or didn't really understand how K-pop works,
mm,
that's why it didn't really blow up as big as collaborations today.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, that's true. Because I remember also Mama inviting foreign artists to.
Do you remember Show Me the Money inviting Snoop Dogg? Like, where did that come from? That
That was
was
so
so.
random.
Dude, Snoop Dogg was sitting there and he had like 20 something Korean rappers rap in front of him in a language he doesn't understand. Like,
Then that was weird, but that
that
was
was so
phenomenal.
weird. Like, what was he doing there?
But yeah, but seeing this collaborations lately, because I we have Spotify. It's easier to listen to like
Dude,
music
I
listening
swear.
with Spotify. So with all their playlists like new music, what I can't remember the rest of the playlist, but yeah, for example, new music. Then you would browse from top to the bottom. You see,
True.
oh, there's a K-pop artist here, but who is this person they're collaborating? And then you ended up like knowing that
True.
person, which is a great thing for you because you get the best out of the two worlds. It's just
Yeah.
like the mashing up.
Mm.
So yeah, that's true. But since we kind of talk about the highs of influence of K-pop, but what about like the lows, or like the
Baby
not
bra
so good
warriors.
influence of K-pop? I did not expect that. So I
They are
really did not
so
know it.
annoying.
No. Oh my god. Okay, tell your story about Baby Bra
I mean, okay,
Warriors.
maybe
What do you
not
think
baby
about
bra
them?
warriors, but like, oh my god, I'm gonna sound like an absolute boomer, but I know you will understand where I'm coming from because you're an old fan too, like an like second gen stan. But like when these third, fourth gen stans try to like, I don't know, change the whole K-pop game, I guess, I don't know, and be like, oh, this is blah blah blah, this is wrong, this is blah blah blah. Even if that's something that has been done for years, I feel like sit down, girl, like, wait, what was Johnny's line in Sit Down? Wait. Don't get up, don't stand up, please don't put your hand up, and don't make me tell you again. Sit down! That's literally what I want to say to them. I'm like, guys, like, please, like, can you just not? I will not be dropping any examples because I will get called for, but this is just how I feel. This is just how I feel. I'm just like, but you know, being the bigger person and being the more experienced fan, if that's even a thing, I'm just like, you know, like,
Sambe.
like, oh, oh.
You are.
Go.
But that's
Go.
an interesting point to actually say, because I know I wasn't really that active during the first years of my fan girling on K-pop. I don't really like put myself out on social media, but because these days it's easier to just like shout your love for your idols, because you get to tweet it, you get to IG it, you get to just like post on Facebook and comment on YouTube. So fandoms tend to be a little bit intense.
Tell me
And
about
I'm
it.
getting overwhelmed. Because sometimes it's to the point that I'm not sensing like logical perspective, or I don't see sense, or like I don't feel any good vibes.
Dude,
It's just
honestly,
plain it's just plain nonsense. You know, sometimes they just want to say things that don't matter, some things that just, I don't know, it makes me feel like, is this your foundation of like fandom? Is this how you work? Is this is how you operate? Because back in the day, well, that sounds like a
back
boomer,
in
but
my days,
there's I did not do that.
this is why I said we're gonna be sounding so much like boomers. Because we're really going to be going like, oh, you know, back in the days, like 5, 10, not, yeah, 8 years ago or something.
But still, but we're gonna use the boomerang, whatever. But yeah, that's just my, because you know, it's tiring.
It is.
Yeah,
It really
that's
is.
my. So that gives you like a bad sense kind of way, because let's say you're part of that particular fandom, but you
Right.
don't sound like that, or you don't actually do
Right.
that kind of thing, but it kind of gives you a different image, because people associate you with it,
Of
you
course.
know,
Of course.
with that kind of tweet, especially if it goes viral. So
Right.
like you're a blank. The people,
Right.
you're a blank. Like you're an XOL. You're like a VIP, and that's how you. That's just like our take, people.
Right. No, it's
'Cause we're-
true.
Yeah. Besides that, like, you know, I think that was one of the biggest like lows of like getting into this spectrum of K-pop,
And you know,
is that you
TBH,
have to deal
we're still
with so
kind of
much
there.
trolls.
We're still kind of there.
Mm.
I don't know. Is there a way to
But
fix it? I
anyways,
don't
you can't
think
do
so.
anything. It's hard because it's like.
It's like culture.
Anyways,
It's like culture. Anyway, yes,
besides
go.
that,
Let's not talk. I have a headache.
but besides that, do you think they also have influence on how people see their bodies, or
Oh.
how they present themselves physically, especially
Uh,
on social media?
Yeah.
Like what do you feel about that? Mm.
like physical like
'Cause
image of like it's funny actually here in like Asia or like
mm,
Southeast Asia, cause I feel like being
mm,
being fair skin is still associated with being pretty, but I see like whenever my aunt sees someone
mm.
that is like a K-pop idol, she'd go like, why are they so white? So I'm kind of like, huh, interesting, like what isn't your idea of a
Mm.
beautiful fair skinned lady,
Oh.
or but like I feel like
Mm.
the typical Asian stereotype that girls have to be a certain weight or a certain for this certain height you have to be a certain weight, you have to have fair skin, flawless skin. I know it can be tiring. It is tiring, but you know, kind of just live off self-loathe. No, I'm kidding. I love myself.
I know you love dark humor, but that's like yeah. Let's not threaten that.
No. I love myself, but
Kidding to that.
you just healthy. Work out to be healthy and not to be like
Mm,
a certain stereotype. Like, oh, you have to be this skinny. Oh, you have these clothes
mm,
should fit you, or I'm like kind of over that, I guess. How about you though?
mm,
Like, what
mm.
do you personally feel attacked? No, I'm kidding. Do you personally feel uh
Insert meme of Laganja here.
Laganja Estranja, yes ma'am.
Yeah.
Speaking of all stars, let's get it. But like, yeah, do you personally feel like uh the K-pop have changed your perspective on like beauty?
Of course. Because I feel, no, I don't, but because when you consume a lot of K-pop videos on YouTube, because you know, it's accessible, you tend to feel like it's the norm. Like
Of
you have
course.
to be this body type, you have to
Mm-hmm.
have this skin type, you have
Mm-hmm.
to have this beautiful milky whatever texture of your skin, so that you could be considered beautiful. For example, like this is Ayu's
Diet.
diet,
I saw
right?
that too.
And I was like, you're only eating apple in a day? Is that even possible for a person to like work the whole day with just like an apple in their stomach? Like, and there's also this transformation from like 2014 to 2020, and then you've seen like what is the process to achieve this kind of thing. Then you click into this like videos, and then you see it's not the healthiest
Right.
option. so
Right.
so I do admire their beauty, because like they are beautiful, but it kind of makes me feel like not all people can achieve that,
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
especially if you come from like not of the same, how do you say this, like the same geographical, like, because East Asian look different. I'm just
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
honest.
they're built different.
They're built different. Like, how do you expect us Southeast Asian people to actually look like that the
Of
moment
course.
we are
Of
born?
course.
So
Of course. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I guess what I just love about the way they present themselves is the fashion, I guess.
Oh yeah. Very fashion forward.
Yeah, true. That's I've never seen like elegance on like the clothes on them. It makes me feel like I want that, but I can't afford that. So
Facts. Facts.
that, like, especially for me, because I'm a blink, and whenever I
Oh,
see like how the four of them would just like
do
wear
you
luxury
like
brands.
YSL, like Chanel, like Gucci, like
No. I'm just gonna look at you guys, admire you, but I can't afford you.
I
The
mean,
only thing I can afford is Pepsi. That is the only one. And probably Globe? Load?
Globe.
That's it. Dude, I'm such a poor fan. But
No,
I still love you guys. But
I mean, being a fan doesn't necessarily mean having to buy everything they endorse. Like, you can support them by your own way. This is another, I think, fan culture that I think is like a bit toxic. I don't know. But like, when people or like fans try to like show off that they love their idols by buying this, buying that, I feel like that's not a measure of how much you love your idols. Like, it really depends on like the person's capabilities. Like, yes, you can buy that, but like, what if another person, okay, like, can't afford, like, not necessarily can't afford that they're poor, but they have other needs that need to be bought. Like, as people that are working right now and trying to live independently, we have other things that we need to buy than photo cards. No, I'm kidding. But, like,
so okay.
no, but like I guess it all boils down to knowing what your priority is, and maybe if you have a bit extra, then okay, fine, but that shouldn't be a measure of how much you support your idol. There are so many ways that you can support your idol, like stream, that's free, like listen on Spotify, watch their music videos on YouTube. So like,
So please sponsor us, Spotify and YouTube. We're
come
mentioning
on,
your
come on,
name.
come on.
Dude, we've been mentioning your name for quite a while now.
Spotify, if you're listening, come on. You can just like at least pay for like a year of our Spotify's. Like for like we just have, like,
True.
right, like a year free of Spotify. Like,
Please do.
that's
Kidding.
all we ask.
No, not really. Yeah, but I'll be honest here. Like being a fan, like a K-pop fan, it's a luxury.
True.
It is like, but I don't see it as like a bad thing. It's just you just have to find alternatives to actually be able to afford that kind of lifestyle. And I
It's
admire some because they're very out there.
it's a hobby, and like I feel like a lot, like everyone has different hobbies, but like um yeah, some may cost more than the other. So it really boils down to how you can budget, your money. And I do agree it is a luxury, and it is a lot of money, especially before when concerts were a thing. But yeah, I guess if you can, then if you can and you've bought everything that you need and you're settled, maybe if you have a little extra, then why not? But like, don't force yourself to like starve because you need to buy an album. I feel like that's like, okay. But I mean, you do you, girl. You do you. If you can go a day without eating and you really, really want the album, like, just be safe, be healthy. That's
Just
that.
please make sure that you get to play the album before it arrives, like after it arrives.
True.
Please, like, be healthy, don't die.
True.
That's it.
That's it.
But still, you do you. Because
You do you.
it's a personal, like, a preference. Like
Right.
they have
it
their
is.
own thing going on. It's just like, so okay, that's it for the lows. Because I don't want to feel so sad about the other side of things. 'Cause,
Right.
just so we're just gonna go to your personal experiences. Like, what is the best influence, or like the most amazing, or what do you? How do you? It depends on how you like would phrase it. And what is the weirdest thing that K-pop made you do? Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the best influence that K-pop had on me or is having on me would be, I guess, with new media as well. This is really social media based, but I was able to meet the best people from K-pop. I mean, it's a very easy topic to converse with other people with, and I've met some of the best people that I am currently in a very strong friendship with through K-pop, like from Twitter. Like, if you're a Starlight, my best experience was when I was a Starlight, because the Starlight community is so small. So I get to meet great people, and we're still really, really, really good friends until now. That even if Vix is currently not that active, we branch out to like other conversations. So it's really the people that I've met through K-pop. I mean, I met you and Shane through, well, you most personally through K-pop, because let me see if I can find our EXO picture. Remember that? If I can still find that EXO picture, but like, yeah, that was a and yeah, but like, for my weird, I wouldn't personally call it weird, but like, this is kind of a new low for me, because I've I've really been into collecting albums when I was since the start of my K-pop fandom, whatever. But recently, I've been starting to collect PCs, and that, ma'am, that is not an experience that I would want you to try. It is expensive, it is tiring, it is heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking?
Sis, because like sometimes with the rare PCs, the seller would be like, oh, whoever DMs me first gets the PC. So you thought you DM first, but you're actually not. And then the seller would be like, I've DM'd all the successful claimers, and you didn't get a DM! So you're like... So like, you know what? I'm just like, it's okay, it's all worth it.
Well, I love how you're going, like, you're convincing yourself about...
I just, you know what, at this point, I'm just like, I'm down the PC collector life. This is not good. What else? I think the weirdest influence that I got because of like K-pop or the Hallyu was I think when I was in grade 8. Yeah, I think I was in grade 8 or something. So my mom was like, all three of us got new phones. Like me, my brother, my sisters were like, let's get all of you new phones. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, no, I don't want an iPhone. I want a Samsung S4. Because at that time, I was watching The Heirs, right? Lee Min-ho and, what's her name?
Park Shin-hye.
Park Shin-hye! And like, Park Shin-hye, even if she was like the daughter of the maid, she had a Samsung S4, and I was like, interesting. And the thing with the Samsung is that their phones, their covers flip like this. It's not just the case. So the thing with the Heirs is that whenever they would answer the phone, so they would flip it open and then swipe right and then close it and then answer. And I was mesmerized. I was like, Samsung phones can do that. Apparently all phones can do that. It's not just Samsung. But like, I was like, yo, that is lit. I want to answer my phone but close it with the case. So I got a Samsung S4. I was like, no mom, I want a Samsung S4. So yeah, that was like the weirdest. But you know that the marketing works.
The PPL.
Truly, because as I was watching Penthouse, I was like, an espresso machine would look nice. But then I was thinking like, the trash it accumulates, because it's like per capsule, right? So it's like, that's like going to be very like it's gonna produce a lot of trash, and it's like very expensive. Like I know you buy it per 10 capsules, and that's like really expensive. So you know, I still stick to my 3-in-1. Was good. Yes, ma'am.
Affordable.
Yes, of course. You know, again, your needs. You need to prioritize your needs. That's
Love
about
it.
it for me. How about you? Like, what are your best and funniest or weirdest influences that K-pop has had on you?
My biggest influencer, like the best one, is I got to know other artists outside K-pop.
Bruh.
Like,
I'm on a boat.
ta-na-na-na-na.
Yeah. Shout out to Jungwoo from NCT.
Because I had no idea about like other artists outside K-pop, because I was just like,
Right.
oh, K-pop, it's the only thing I know.
Right.
Then I've seen like your recommendations. I got to know a lot more. It's a different dimension. So that includes K-hip hop, K-R&B, K-indie, maybe
Quality.
some like balladeers.
Right.
I was not expecting that, but that is the best thing for me,
Bro,
because
K-hip hop
you know,
was like a completely different realm. Like, what is this? Let the body set the flow. Let the body set the
hit the
flow.
fire to the flow. Yeah, that is like.
Yes.
So whenever I see like new artists on Spotify, or just probably like on a YouTube comment, like saying, "Oh, I've heard this from this. I've heard this from this. Oh my god, like I'm gonna check that artist out."
True.
Because I know it's not just my case, because I've seen comments from YouTube saying, "Oh, I've heard this from this V Live," or I've seen this from this
Like, who's here
like,
because of this shout out from this artist?
yeah,
Yeah.
true. So that's like, yes, it's a winning move. Thank you, K-pop.
Thank you.
Shout out to K-pop.
Truly.
Yeah, that is probably like my best experience. Like what more can I say? It's like the best. We always get to discover new
I love
artists.
discovering new art. This is why the number one thing that Jenny and I will do the minute we arrive in Korea is to go to like underground concerts, like underground hip hop, underground R&B, underground indie. Cause like, can you imagine though, like you're just sitting there or like just standing in like you know those kind of like underground like basement type venues that the stage is just like really like not even that high, and you're just vibing with like a bottle of beer. Can you, Jen, when? Jen.
Please let this be over. Yeah, but yeah, that's my best influence. The
That's
best
great.
is the best,
That's
the best,
great.
the best.
That's amazing.
But the weirdest or the funniest one is, I was watching like a YouTube video like from a radio star.
Okay.
It's a variety show, and then Heechul was part of the guest, like the
Right.
guest panels, and then he was just talking about like, you know, his love for online gaming, and how he, you know, how he had purchased a lot of gems or skins. Is that how you say it? Like, you know, he spent a lot of money on games. And then one guest was a South Korean League of Legends player. His name is Faker.
Faker. Yes, I was trying to think of it. I've heard of him.
Yeah, and I became so interested because like, Because he said during that interview that he doesn't spend a lot of money on games, although
Who,
he is
Faker?
a online. Yeah, although he is like an online like a LOL player, and I was like, oh my god, how can you do that? Like, how can you not spend so much money although you're a professional? Then I became so interested in him that I ended up watching a lot of his videos. And
Really?
what's weirder is that I downloaded League of Legends and started playing it. So I think that's like the weirdest or like the wow. I did
No,
not
but
expect myself.
do does did LOLs did was LOL created in Korea, or is it an outside game? Because I know Korea has their own like online games, right? The the gaming industry in Korea is like really intense. Like if you go to their internet cafes, the PC bangs,
Hmm.
like
Yes.
the gaming industry in Korea alone, I think even before K-pop or K-dramas, it was the gaming of Korea. It has always been that prominent.
Yeah. Cause I don't know because I'm not really a gamer, but I think the rise of mobile games I
Yes.
think amplified the whole gaming industry because it's easier now. You don't have to set up like a
Right.
PC or like a
Mm.
really gaming
Def-
station. You just have your phone and a good connection.
yeah, and you're
And
good to go.
true. That is a really weird take on my influence because I'm not really that of a gamer.
But
But
because of
to
Troll, you
be,
downloaded LOL.
yeah, because like, oh my god, they're so good. So yeah, that's my weird one.
Like okay, I
Wait.
guess like what you see, like you know how everything like goes up, but when it reaches its peak, like there's nowhere to go, but like is going to go down. So
Mm.
do you think that
Mm.
this is the peak for K-pop, or like the influence of K-pop, or do you think it can go even higher? Because I feel like when the Psy phenomenon happened in 2012, I thought, oh, this is how big K-pop. I mean, coming from an older
Mm.
K-pop fan, like that was already a huge win for the K-pop fans,
Mm.
because K-pop got so globalized, and we were like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is good, but like, it's gonna, yeah, we're okay with this. We're okay with this amount
Mm.
of globalization of K-pop, and then BTS happened, so and we never really expected that high of a, I guess, like influence, or like that big of an influence. So do you
Mm.
think do you think after this, or like, yeah, is it going to go down, or do you think there's going to be a new phenomenon after BTS, or like after this whole period?
I think there's gonna be a second like peak of this.
Okay.
Cause I've seen like or I see newer groups and they're being broadcasted on like foreign channels, like let's say for a magazine like 17, Allure, L, Cosmopolitan. I've never seen those kind of exposure before.
Mm.
That's why
Mm.
it wasn't as easy. Like it was difficult to actually gain global presence.
Right.
But um, I think there's gonna be challenges before it reaches like the second.
Another peak.
The pressure of still like no yeah, the pressure of BTS, of Blackpink, those like as if like those biggest acts. It's it would be a challenge for them because they have so many eyes on them. But there's this new talents
Mm.
that I feel like would be out there
Like,
and be able
like,
to
mm,
make a name for themselves. Like it's not gonna be probably like the as big as what happened to BTS because that
mm.
was
That
really
was,
big. Like it was like a sudden
mm,
thing and like it blew out. But But with that foundation, like, because it's out there, the name is out there, there's not gonna be much of an, like, hard work, or no, not much of effort to just patch
Because
things,
because
or
you
like,
know the
build
K-pop
things.
the K-pop industry is now even
Mm.
well known. It's like even bigger now. Like I
Mm.
feel like
Mm.
the second gens kind of put it out there, but it was
Mm.
still a pretty niche market. It wasn't that big of a market yet. Although they
Mm.
did start the market outside their respective countries, like
Mm.
um of course Boa, Super Junior, SNSD, Big Bang, those OGs.
Mm.
They did tear down the walls, but
Mm.
I guess like nowadays with like third gen and like especially like BTS and Blackpink, they like blew up the walls.
Mm. The walls are down.
Yeah, so it gets me thinking, like, what other thing is there to bringing back to the wall blowing up analogy? Like, what other thing is there to blow up?
Mm.
Because all the walls have been blown up. So what is the new thing? Kind of makes me interested. Like, can't wait for, new talent, new music. But is this also the start of Western groups?
Mm.
I mean, we have NCT Hollywood in the making, so
Mm.
it's not that far fetched of an idea.
But I do think it could have the same approach as Super M, making a
Okay,
group just for
the
like a
American
different
market.
audience. Yeah,
Mm,
they can do that because someone started it.
yeah,
But it may take a while probably
I mean,
to
yeah,
have that.
K-pop did take a while too. So
Hmm. But I think it's gonna be easier because for us international fans, it's just like we're just given like a lot of platforms
yeah,
to
yeah, we are.
support or to just to consume because we have YouTube, Spotify, like social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like
Mm,
the newer ones like Clubhouse or
mm.
this specific app that like entertainments make, like the Weavers or
Weavers,
like the
V Live,
Universe,
Bubble,
V Live, something like that. Like yeah, all those things. So
yeah.
to gain the presence or like to gain fandom, it is easier. It's not as like, oh, I have to watch this variety show in 144p in like first
I
part, second part. It's not.
agree. I agree.
It was hard to connect with your idols before because you don't get the same like chances, or like you're not given much opportunities to have that interaction or to that connection. But now you
Yeah,
can
bro.
like,
Now
share, comment,
you can even interact
stream.
like
True,
reply
the
directly to like
video call.
Instagram comments or
Mm.
via Instagram comments and stuff like that. So well, I mean, it was the hard times that made us the strong fangirls that we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see how K-pop will influence in the
Mm.
long run. But at the same time, it's
And
kind of like,
mm.
what other else is there to influence, But we never know.
And that's
We
it.
never know.
Mm-hmm. And it may not just be purely music. It could be like
True.
outside the realms of
True.
music. Like,
True.
we will never know. It's just because these days the boundaries between cultures and like society and other things, it's not as like defined. It's just like
Right.
there's this silver lining. So
I
we'll
agree.
never know.
I agree completely.
Yeah. I think that's it for our episode for For tonight?
I
think
told you
that's
this was
it.
gonna be a fun episode, and it was. This episode is gonna be
We
titled.
weren't expecting.
The episode is gonna be titled Selina and Jenny, the K-pop boomers.
I'm ready for Baby Bra Warriors. Where you at? No,
baby,
I'm not.
Baby Brown Warriors, where you at?
So, if you guys have things that we forgot to mention, like just comment down your opinions, your reviews, or if you have suggestions on what topic to talk about, just please, the comment sections are open, and our
Wide
YouTube
open.
and our Instagram. Please do.
Yes.
So yeah.
So see you guys soon, because we don't even know.
Mhm.
But like, see you guys soon, and thank you for listening to the end of this episode. I hope to
Yes.
see you again next time.